coaches in Louisiana over his 20 years of coaching and independence. Of course, it seems like a long time ago now. He's been at LSU for a decade, serving with the LSU football program as external relations director for the team. And of course, LSU is 4-0 now. They're ranked 3rd in the country this week after beating Auburn this past Saturday night in their SEC opener. They got some team coming in Saturday night. He can tell you about that. And it's always great to have him come down. Somehow I think you'll get a joke out of this. Please give a warm welcome to our good and great friend, Charlie Baglio. Charlie?
How y'all doing? Well, I should have been here about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but Isaac took care of that. So I'm really glad to be back here. I want to tell Jabbar, you know, whenever I retired LSU, maybe y'all need a father figure over there for them 40-year-old coaches you got. So I'm glad to come on over here. But we started off the season, you know, not playing real good competition, and played really well. First 3 games of the season, both offensively and defensively. And you know, you never know when you. I've been there 10, 11 years now, and every time you have to go on the road in the SEC, it's a completely different animal. You know, it kind of reminds me of the. You never know what kind of reaction you're going to get. It reminds me of this guy that went to a car dealership, an elderly guy, and he bought a Corvette convertible. And man, he put the top down, he drove it off the lot, and he got on the interstate, and he punched it to 70 miles an hour. Man, he was feeling pretty good, you know, and he punched it again and got it to 90. Next thing you know, he looked in his rearview mirror and he saw a state trooper with the lights on. Well, he was kind of brave, and he punched it again and got it to 110. And that state trooper was right on it. And finally he said, man, what am I doing? This is uncharacteristic of me, you know. He said, I better pull over. He pulls over, and the state trooper gets out of the car and says, sir, do you realize you're going 110 miles an hour? He said, yes, sir. He said, but I got excited. He said, I just bought this car. The state trooper looked at him and he said, well, I tell you what, sir. He said, if you can give me one good reason not to give you a ticket, I'll be glad to listen. So the guy looked at him and he said, well, he said, the officer, he said, 10 years ago, my wife ran off with a state trooper, and I thought you were bringing her back. And the guy said, well, have a great day, sir. But anyway, I thought you might enjoy that little sense of humor there. But anyway, it kind of, what I was talking about is when you go into a stadium, which to me is one of the loudest stadiums in the SEC, and you make a couple of mistakes, you got the game under control, you make a couple of mistakes, a couple of turnovers, and it really just changed the complexion of that football game. It fired up Auburn, and it kind of rattled us a little bit on offense, and we had to come out of there with, you know, surviving what could have been a really, really big upset. And when you have a home opponent, one of the home opponents, which was Auburn, to 183 yards on defense, you're doing a really good job. And defensively, Coach Chavis and that group really won that football game because of the front, the way the front played the whole night was really, I want to say they had something like 12 or 13 tackles for losses in that game. So it's going to be like that every time we go and play in the SEC. I mean, it's just the way it is. Nothing's a given, and it won't always be. It'll always be that way. We're going to find out exactly how good we are. We play a not so good Towson, But after that game, we get into the meat of the schedule. We go to Florida, who's much improved. And then we have South Carolina, who looked really good the other day at home. And then we go to Texas A&M on the road again. And we come back with a week off and have Alabama. So, you know, the schedule will only get worse. And we'll have to play better than we did the other night. So, with that, I'm going to ask, I'm sure that some of you will have some questions, and I'll be glad to answer what I can. Yes, sir.
How does the coaching staff feel about Mettenberger's progress? And is there any talk about giving Rivers some time?
No talk about that, and I thought he played pretty well the other night, other than the 2 fumbles. I really did. We've had some dropped footballs throughout the year that has really hurt him. But you know, he's not going to do anything but get better. And that was his first, you know, first time in the fire on a road game, and I thought he handled himself pretty well, other than the 2 fumbles. There's no talk about making any changes. No, sir. Any questions?
Raise your hand.
Coach, where's Townsend State?
Do what?
Where is Townsend State located?
Baltimore, Maryland, I think. I think it's Baltimore, Maryland. They'll get a nice payday. Oh yeah, the polls, you know, we dropped from number 2 to number 3. One of the sportscasters I thought made a good point. There probably shouldn't be a poll until October, because you really don't know enough about any of the teams right now. That was quickly found out by USC, who got beat by Stanford. So you just really don't know. It really means nothing. The next 5 weeks really means everything. So it doesn't matter. We just got to keep winning, and if you win by 1 or you win by 2, just keep winning. Everything takes care of itself after that. Appreciate you having me here. Thank you.